It's Monday morning. The time is now 5:06 a.m. I just worked all night. It was a little slow at the very beginning, the first couple hours. Then after those first couple hours, it picked up, and I did like 4 trips in 1 hour. And then it slowed down a little compared to that. At one point, I think it was 1 o'clock or so, I got sent to a random address on Quadra Street. And what's going on here? Got sent to an address on Quadra Street. And, oh, really? Really? Oh, fucking day shift. Oh, man. I'm surprised it lasted this long. My MDT got unplugged. It's black. Now I have to find the cord for that. Oh, here it is. Son of a bitch. Guy who was working the car on the weekend unplugged it. I'm gonna have to have some words with him about that. Yeah, battery was dead because it had been unplugged. Okay. Anyways, I had this trip from a random street. Sorry about the interruption. I was interrupted by this thing going black. I'm glad it lasted this long, so I got that trip to the airport. And now it's, you know, it's just an hour left of the shift, so I'll be able to turn it on again when I get back into town. Yeah, I had a fare that went out to Souk. Now, Souk is past the western communities. Like, I had a trip like that last week too, but this one was from town. And the guy said, "Oh, I gotta go to Souk." I said, "Oh, really?" And he says, "Yeah, I'll even give you a deposit." He says, "How much of a deposit do you want?" I said, "Just give me $70. You'll get out there." And he says, "Oh, well, let me find my wallet." And he's looking for his wallet, and he finally finds it, and he says, "So what is it? How much is it out there?" "About $100. And I said, "Well, 70 should do it." Well, it ended up being 74. And he gave me 80 right away, right off the pop, before we even left town. And when we got out there, it was 74, and he said, "Oh, you deserve a tip." Well, that is a tip. You know, $6 on top of what the fare is, that's fine. And he says, "No, I'm going to give you some more. Here's 5 more. "Oh, great. Thank you very much." Yeah. So he gave me 5 more. And I drove back to town happily ever after. It was nice to be awakened by that call, and you know, the trip goes out to Souk. That was just wonderful. So, yeah, I've got about 270. I've got about 320 on right now. That's not a bad Sunday night. The time is now 6:04 Tuesday morning. I'm just pulling out of a car wash. I've cleaned everything. I fell asleep at around, I guess, 3:30. Yeah, somewhere around there. And I slept till 5:20 and realized I wasn't on the board anymore. I made about, I'd say just under $200 after counting everything for the whole night, which was kind of weak, but it was a weak night. It was not much going on. Very quiet, sometimes an hour, hour and a half between calls. And the morning hours were especially slow. I think I waited 2 hours at one point. And then I had this guy who went downtown to do a drug run. Took him down for 20 bucks and took him back for 20 bucks. So that was the last $40 I made. Which I would have been hurting quite severely if not for that last $40. Like I said, I have about 190 something on. I suppose well, it was just quiet. Tuesday nights have a way of doing that, being quiet. So now I get onto the highway and go back into town. I just went to View Royal because the car wash in View Royal is very good. They give you a lot of soap and the jet is really powerful. At one point my boot lace became untied, and I had enough time to put the jet, or the washer, the wand wash. I had time to hang it up, retie my boot, and wash the rest of the car with time to spare. And it's happened to me before that I ran out of time because the jet wasn't powerful enough, didn't give a lot of soap and didn't give enough power to clean the car off. So yeah, this was a really slow Tuesday night. I could feel it before I even went to work. So I made about $100 for myself. My grand total of distance I traveled was 127K. The Sunday night, of course, I traveled a lot farther because I went to Souk and I went to the airport. And I did 320, 330 or so. And tonight I did under 200. So hopefully the rest of the week will be better. And if it is Welfare Wednesday this week, then that means that it might be good the second half of the Tuesday night. Well, they can't give me shit for this. I washed the car. Okay, the roads are a little bit wet. I might get a little bit of splash on it. Hopefully it doesn't get too dirty. But I did get the interior clean, which was important. To me, anyway. Yeah, I got to rush to the car, first the bank, to deposit a little bit of money that I made tonight. And that's because I don't want to be carrying hundreds and hundreds of dollars on me, in case anyone's wondering why I'm going to the bank. So I go to the bank, and headlights would be nice. I didn't realize I didn't have them on. Wednesday morning, the week is going fast. First thing I did was fuel up at the end of the shift. Then I took a look at the car and there were bits of leaves sticking to the sides of it, so I went to the car wash and hosed it off. Then I went to the bank, which is where I'm leaving right now from. I did $330 worth of business, which was good for a Tuesday night. It was kind of sluggish and relaxed and easygoing for the most part. And then it got quiet around 10:30, 11. Then it was real quiet for a while. And it's raining. But then at about 1 o'clock, from about 1 till 4, 1 till 5. I was going non-stop, one right after another. I couldn't believe it. But it is, after all, I think, Welfare Wednesday. So people had their checks deposited into the bank in the early hours of the morning. And so they could go to the bank and get cash checks and get their money out and have the Welfare Wednesday. So yeah, a lot of people went places in the morning hours. I was quite busy. But now my Wednesday is over and I've got 2 more nights to go this week. It's raining out there. I'm not going to take a walk this morning. I'm just going to go home, do some stretches, have something to eat, relax, go to sleep. That's pretty much the plan for this morning. Be back tomorrow. Well, it's been quite a busy night. I did $410 worth, oh no, $310. Let me shut this off first. Log out, because the time is now 5:59 and I've had enough. $310 is all right for a Wednesday night. Oh, and another thing that I got was a $9 jerry can. It's a little red jerry can because some guy had run out of gas on his motorcycle, and so I took him to a gas station where he bought a jerry can and came back and fueled his motorcycle up, and that was the end of that. So I got a jerry can sitting on the floor of the passenger side front seat. I will probably take it home. What else can I do? Yeah. Any other highlights? Oh yeah, the last customer was hearing and speech impaired, and she went on a drug run. Instructions were go to a certain street corner and then back to another street corner, and that was that. Gave me a $20 bill and I gave her change of $4.10. No tip. Oh, I did exactly as she asked. And what else? I think I'm gonna spray some water on the car just to clean it up a little bit, because there's bits of leaves and vegetation and crap stuck to the sides of it from the wet roads and the falling leaves of autumn. And use the car wash. Yeah. Indeed, I am tired. And here we are in the stall. 5:39 Friday morning. This was a strange night in a few ways. Number one, I fell asleep while I was reading my book, and I ended up waking up an hour later. So basically I slept in about an hour. So instead of getting to work by 6:30, I got to work by 7:30. And imagine my surprise when the money was coming in very slowly. It was quite a quiet night. And then, I guess around midnight, I broke even. Or was it later than that? I think it was later than that. And then I got busy for a while. And at one point, I was sent to a place, and it's a hotel with a driveway going up to the lobby. And I was about to turn into the driveway going up to the lobby when somebody jumped out in front of me. I almost hit him. And he got in and says, "Just get me away from here." I say, "Well, where do you want to go?" "Just get me away from here," he says. "Get me away from here. Away. Go. Drive. Quick." Okay. So I started to drive. And then after a couple of minutes, he decided on what part of town he wanted to go to. Now, he was kind of sketchy and acting kind of agitated. I'm pretty sure that he was doing some blow. And he wanted to go to the store, but then decided no. When we were waiting for a light to change, he wanted to turn right instead, so we turned right, and then he wanted to turn left immediately instead of going the direct way, and I ended up taking him where he was going, and he said, "I saved $400 and pay you $40. I said, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "Do you know Judge so-and-so?" I said, "No, I don't know anybody." He said, "I saved $400 to pay you $40. I said, I don't understand what you're talking about." Basically, it turned out that he was going to see a prostitute, or an escort, as they call them. And she was waiting on him to come and pay her $400 for whatever. But he ended up saving the money and giving me $40 to take him home. But he wanted $10 change, so it was like a $10 fare, and he gave me $30, 2 20s, and I gave him 10 back. So that wasn't so bad. That turned things around. And now that I cleared from my last fare, as the time is now 5:43, I have over 250 on. And if you consider that it took me until about 1 o'clock to break even, that's pretty good. And the break-even point was $130 or so. Yeah. The lease is more expensive on Thursday by a little bit. So I'm just gonna go and hose the car down because it's been raining all night, and you can see the dirt that's been sprayed onto the sides of it from all over. So I'm going to try and make it clean and fuel it up and park it. I should take myself off. Come on. Yep, I'm off. I am not working anymore. Hope yours is better than mine.